That's what freedom is, your own automobile, right? Even though much of the world has lived without it, and most of the world, like, I have a vehicle and I hardly use it. Like, I get groceries. I think I'm going to sell it. I think then I'll buy a coffee machine with it. Seems like a waste of money. But there's some people who are really into that. I don't know. I wouldn't know. I don't know if I'd call them interesting people, but uh, classic cars. That's a whole other thing, though. Like, we're talking um, history. You're a history buff if you know classic cars and whatnot. But people are always jumping on the latest consumer trend. That's insane. Like, you'll never be happy. You'll be a slave your whole life. It's just that's just how it works. That's uh, that's how capitalism works. It takes advantage of the fact you don't know how to. You don't know psychology is not taught in school. Okay, I'm going to go on another rant here. Why isn't psychology taught in school? Like, this is probably one of the most important things that should be taught in school. At least understand yourself, understand those around you, and understand society. Just basic stuff like why are poor people taught skills that are related to working in a factory? It's because as you get older, uh, they want you to work in a factory, right? But you don't necessarily know. Like, the way it should work is uh, you might enjoy the factory job. That you might have there's a certain brotherhood that comes with it, and there's a certain mentality, and you know modern factory workers are much more educated than before. The idea of just when I was younger, I was a roughneck on an oil rig. I would dig ditches and do grunt work for I did it for 5 summers, and I earned money, went to school, became an engineer, and invented things, and capitalists said no, right? But the truth is, you know, in my lifetime, I've learned quite a bit about psychology. I've learned about propaganda, right? How to, get you interested in something, right? It's always that teaser. It's always that the well, I guess they do teach it a little bit in school. The grass is always greener, but they should take that story of the grass is always greener and expand it a little bit more. Like, the car you could buy is a little bit better. Like, you just got to connect it for some of the kids. And as you go further into education, I think a lot of people I know too. Like, I won't say a lot, but some people I know, they're stuck in this rut of this uh, poor me kind of philosophy that I have had the worst life. Everything went wrong with me. But if you actually studied and understood psychology, everything happened for a reason. It wasn't, uh, you did something that in someone else's mind, it didn't work. What you perceived as the world was not accurate portrayal of the world. Like, I do my best here. I'm an older guy trying to stream on YouTube, and I know there are some older guys I do listen to that are quite good. But generally, I understand that I might not get a lot of clicks just because I'm older, right? Just because I'm older, because I'm automatically going to be discriminated. But I am trained to know that. I'm aware that psychology is a thing that you will. Everyone has in-group preference. That's the other thing. Like, even rich people at a young age should be taught that you're going to have a preference for people in your own social class, and your things you're interested in will not be uh, necessarily interesting to another social class or another community or another group of people. So uh, that, like, the theory of mind is a big thing that isn't taught either. Like, the idea that other things think, and the way they think and what they're thinking of might be worlds apart from what's in your head. So if you think that they think like you're making a mistake, and this could be the downfall. Yeah, like, if you're not successful at something, that could be your biggest mistake. You should have been taught that in school, somewhere in high school, just a little bit of it. Just teach these things. They don't, I never heard of the theory of mind till I was probably in my 30s. You know, I never even knew who Edward Bernays was, or like, Bernays created ultimately the Holocaust. Like, he created Nazi, or Bernays was read by Goebbels, who then created the Holocaust, and Nazism and whatnot. And you see it happening again today because no one in the world knows how psychology works. They don't understand all the parts, all these motivating factors. They don't realize that a lot of the stuff that they're being told is fabricated. That guy does this, that guy likes solar panels, so therefore he doesn't drink beer and get drunk and get in fights, right? That's misleading. We'll talk about astroturfing or something in another episode. I have that as a note, but I think most people know what gaslighting is, but this needs to be taught to kids. Like, I don't think kids generally even know what gaslighting is because they've been gaslit their whole life, right? Up to the certain point, it's the repetition of message. Why am I going to school at exactly the same time? Why? Like, what's with the structure? Now, there are some logistical reasons to this, but you're being, trained to get used to it so that later on, you'll, when you get your career, you won't complain as much. And those that complain the least will more likely, rise the ranks. Those who go, wait a second, you know, and some people notice that there are glitches in the matrix too. Like, why are we digging this hole and then filling it like 3 days later and doing really nothing? Is this job all made up? Is this just something that rich people do to keep poor people out of their hair? So, like, then it's just an excuse to give them money. Like, why don't we do UBI if that's the case? And some people don't like that, and they voice their concerns, and then they're unemployed, right? So I do believe that psychology, like just being aware of it, just for the mental health, like even you think about guys like Elon Musk. Like, I know I crap on uh, rich people a lot, but as a person, like, uh, you don't understand the situations he's going through. Like, sure, he's got a lot of money and a lot of people helping him, but he could be like, and it most certainly is. He could have very crazy people around him, and he's so preoccupied with the crazy people that that's why he's taking whatever drugs they say he's taking to deal with his depression. Maybe been trained better in psychology when he was younger, he learned to accept it. Maybe go out, have fun a little bit more, right? Find something that is. There's a YouTuber out there. It's a black dude. I forget his name, but he's like off grid and lives in the woods. And I watch his videos quite regular. It's just his name in the video, and he reasons out what are good things to do. Like, watch guys like that. Learn from these guys. You don't have to study, Roy Cohn for life advice. Roy Cohn is not a good model. That guy is. He'll make you miserable. And so, the net effect of it is everyone who's poor is made miserable because we don't understand how thinking works, and everyone who's rich is also miserable because we don't I shouldn't say we because I'm not rich, but rich people then can't deal with the thought processes of other people and their own thought processes. Like, they can't just sit back and be rational about it. Like, I chose to do this after a lot of thought. I didn't just one day come up with the idea and then decide, hey, I'm going to start streaming. I've been planning this for months. I have literally like pages of ideas for content. If you don't consider things like the psychological benefit, like I'm playing a video game. There's a lot of other things I could be doing with my time. So even if this doesn't work out, I'm getting, theoretically, if I get enough subscribers, if I make $1 an hour, I'm playing video games, playing $1 an hour, right? And that's a good deal. This is, maybe I wouldn't be explaining as much stuff. I'd be a little bit more self-absorbed if I wasn't recording. But to me, I enjoy this, and if I enjoy it, that is the best thing I can do in terms of good for my mind, good for my mental health, and that's I guess that's some advice for pretty much anyone.